In today's video, a bit of welding. Actually, I do need a ton of practice to get my welding right up to spec. In today's video, that's what we're going to be checking out, the inverter welder from Arccaptain. Now, I hope you will excuse my terrible welds, but hey, I'm just a beginner and I do need a lot of practice. But before we actually jump into welding, let's start from the beginning. Perfect packaging. It arrived to my doorstep absolutely intact. There you have it. That's the machine itself. It's actually quite compact and it's not too heavy at all, which is definitely positive. Where it comes to accessories, exactly what you would expect. So you got your MIG welder, you got your stick welder, hose as well, and most importantly, a very thick manual. In the past, I only done stick welding, and definitely I'm going to class myself as a beginner. So it will be very interesting to see if this budget-friendly machine is suitable for beginners like myself. So the Arccaptain 200 MIG is a inverter welder up to 200 amps. That does have plenty of very cool features, and it does offer a bit of automation as well. In the set you do get the MIG torch with a Euro style connector over here, and it's quite easy to disassemble and change the tips over. The one installed here is 0.8 millimeters, and in my set I also got another one that's 1 millimeter. As we are talking about accessories, you also do get the key to lock the ends in place, and also you get two wheels. There's a third one already installed in the machine. One is for flux wire. Hopefully you can see the difference, and the other one is just normal. And to access the compartment where the wire is gonna go is super easy. You've got two latches over here that are holding the front. And you do actually get a setup guide as well for all the potential combinations that you can do with this machine. That is super helpful. You don't have to guess. You do have some standard settings in here already. Now the machine itself, it will take a larger spools. However, if you've got the smaller ones, I actually managed to find a flux wire in my garage. So we're going to try that as well. You can basically remove this. And then with these you can install the smaller wheels as well. Now the wire installation and actually changing the wheels is also super easy. You just unlock it like so, and you do have this locking knob just over here that you need to simply undo, and then you can change the wheel, and that's 0.8 and 1 millimeters here. And to be fair, I can straight away change it to my flux wheel, and there's definitely no issues in positioning this. As you can see, the wheel does have a notch with a similar one on the rod over here, so quite easy to install, and it's definitely going to be in the correct place at all times. Then do this up and you are sorted. The locking mechanism is simple and it works really well. You can actually quite easily adjust the pressure over here with that on top, so you're definitely covered in every single aspect. In my set I also do get this really nice and sturdy stick lead. The clamping pressure here is very high. Installation, of course, it's super dead easy, and it holds the stick very sturdy and very well, so you shouldn't have any issues in leading your stick on your material as you are welding your material. And of course in this set you also get the grounding lead. Again, very nice clamping pressure on this, and all the leads do have this nice large connection as well. At the front of the machine, this is where you're going to install all your leads. You do have a lovely Euro style connection just over here, and that of course is for the MIG torch. From the machine itself you do have this polarity changeover plug, so depending on what system of welding you're going to be using, you've got the positive on this side, the negative on the other side, plus and minus sign. And you know, again, because the way it's built, it's quite easy to install that and take it into the right position, so it's nice and sturdily installed. And again, it's very easy to actually take out and switch over depending on what type of welding you're gonna be tackling. Now the last port right in the middle, this will be used for spool guns. For example, if you want to weld aluminium, okay, this machine offers that option as well. On the back of the machine you do have your gas input port just over here and the on and off switch for the whole machine. One thing I want to mention is the fact that regardless where you live, if you live in Europe or maybe in the United States where the voltages are different, well, Arccaptain will actually have a machine that will be suited for your voltage that's in your country. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to install the wire. As I said, this is flux wire, so I don't need any gas, and actually I don't have any gas in my workshop. Therefore I only got two options of welding, flux welding or the stick welding, and we're going to start with this. Now it's up to you. You can actually install the wire first, feed it through, or install the MIG gun first. In my case I'm going to install the MIG torch first, and then we'll just feed through the wire, making sure it's not going to get stuck anywhere. And the installation is dead simple. Everything matches as it should be, and just do it up. Now we can open the side. Let's unlock the feeder mechanism here, and as I did show you before, you need to change this wheel according to what wire you are using, and it does offer two sizes. This side is for 1mm and this one is for 0.8, and that's what I've got. So the 0.8 needs to be facing the machine itself, and it's easy to see where the wire feeder is, so you're not going to make really any mistakes with that. And then just lock it up in place. This part could be a little bit tricky as the wire does tend to unwind itself, so you know, just take your time with it. You do have a wheel just over here to put it back on, just like that, and to make sure this will not undo itself, what you do get, you do have this spring attachment here, and basically you just need to add a bit of pressure so our spool will not unwind itself automatically. Okay, and of course you can amend how much pressure there is on that, so it's not too much and it's not too little. And now we just have to feed the wire through the opening. It's not too hard at all. And what I like to do now, I'm just going to feed it about 15 centimeters, so it will go past this entrance point. That will make sure that it's not going to stop somewhere on the way, and it's not going to cause a clog up. When you've done that, just lock everything in place. In this case, the ground clamp needs to be inserted into the plus sign. And the polarity changeover plug, that's going on the right hand side to the minus. Now make sure that the MIG torch wire is fully untangled. Take off the shield and the tip as well, so we can actually feed through the wire. Alright, now I'm going to power on the machine. And now let's feed the wire through. Now I can install back the tip. You can hand tighten it. It doesn't have to be ultra tight. And make sure to install the right tip according to the thickness of your material. In my case, this will be 0.8 millimeters. And then put on the shield. And leave about 10 to 13 millimeters of the wire sticking out. Now, as I did mention, when you open the machine, you do have your setup guide. For us, it's these in the red over here, depending on what thickness of the wire you're going to be using and what material you're going to be welding. You've got all the information needed just in there. Right, and let's have a look at the front panel. We're going to go through some of the options here just to give you an indication of what is actually possible here. So that button there, that's the mode, and the screen for that is just over here. At the minute, hopefully you can see that, we do have MMA selected, so that's the stick welding. When you press that, we got TIG, then we've got MIG, but that's with the spool gun, and then we've got the normal MIG with gas or with flux. The next button down, this one is the diameter of the wire itself, and the screen for it is just over here. So as you can see, we've got 0.8 millimeters. When you press it, 0.9 and 1. Now this button here will affect that screen. So you can toggle between volts. M is some saved settings. You can actually save your parameters, save your settings. And in a different setting, when you press for the third time, you're going to go to S, which is spot welding time. Now the button in the top right corner is the synergic mode. This will allow you to actually change the wire size and material type, after which the system will automatically adjust the voltage and the wire feed speed. So this is super helpful for any beginner looking to achieve a very professional level of results. So with that selected, check this out. We can change the size of our wire with no issues at all. And as we are changing them, the voltage will follow as well. And when you change the material, so for example, now we've got flux, we're going to go to some gas combination, CO2 mix, the voltage will change as well automatically. Absolutely brilliant feature for any beginners. If you want to pinpoint, for example, your voltage to 18 volts, it will change the amperage as well according to your volts. So that's very helpful. And for example, if you want to micro adjust the voltage without changing the amperage, that's the left knob for it. You can go maximum of 3 volts up or 3 volts down without changing the amperage. Okay, so that's very, very handy as well. The next button down is the MIG operation mode. Okay, so at the minute we do have 2T, you can have 4T, or those 3 dots, that means you're on spot welding. The 2T option, what that means, when you press the button there, it will start welding, and when you release the button, it will stop welding. Whereas the 4T, you press the button, you can let go, and it will continue to weld. To turn it off, you have to press the button again. And spot welding, with that selection, now you can press the little play button and it will go to S, seconds. So how long the spot weld will be. And finally, that button there is what material we're going to be using. Okay, so for example, we've got CO2, you got mix, flux, and so on. And finally, this knob here, it's the inductance adjustment knob. Now in my case, for the 8mm flux MIG, I'm gonna go with 18.8 volts and in synergy option. So the machine will take care of the rest. And one of the most important things is your safety gear, gloves, apron, and your mask as well. Especially with flux MIG welding, it's gonna create a bit of a mess. Now don't forget about the clamp, and we are ready to do some welding. Now, as I did mention, I have never done MIG welding in my life. And yes, as you can see also, it is a very messy process. But tell you what, for the first trial, I'll take it. If a beginner like myself can make a 45 joint weld on 2 pieces of steel and it holds really strong, then it's not too bad at all. I think with a lot more practice, I can get really good at MIG welding. As you can see, it's that simple. You don't need any gas. You don't need to know a massive amount of settings. With this machine, it's actually super easy and quick to change the settings, to dial in the settings to your materials so you can get the best results. Now I'm going to switch off the machine and I'm going to show you how to change this setup to stick welding. So I'm going to remove everything and we'll take it right to the beginning. This time the ground clamp goes on the right hand side where the minus is. And the stick holder obviously goes to the plus. And as for the settings when it comes to stick welding, well, we need to change the mode to MMA. I'm going to change the amperage to 110. The last thing to do is just to install the welding stick in the holder itself and you're ready to go. Simple as that. Tell you what, if you are a beginner like myself, I think this machine will be absolutely perfect for you. It's so easy to set up everything. The screen itself, it's super clear. You cannot go wrong with that. On top of it, you do have all the basic settings on the inside of the machine. So if you're not sure what settings to use, you are covered in that perspective as well. And if you feel unease to have a gas tank for MIG welding with gas, again, this machine has got you covered. You can do flux welding, you can do stick welding. It gives you all those options, and as a beginner you can see what works for you best. From that perspective, I can definitely recommend this machine to any beginner that wants to start welding. And the best thing is, you don't have to worry that you're gonna invest tons of money. This machine is priced very competitively and it's definitely not gonna break the bank. So if you're a pro welder or want to actually start your adventure with welding, I think this is an absolutely perfect machine to suit all potential needs. And as you've seen some of the most terrible welding skills on the internet, well, I didn't break the machine, it works just fine, and I think with a bit of practice I should be able to get to reasonable results. And definitely not. You're not gonna find any welding tutorials on my channel. There are people with higher skills and knowledge, and definitely those are the ones to search for. On my channel, I just wanted to let you know that a machine from Arccaptain, the MIG200, does exist. It's fairly easy to use, fairly easy to set up, even for total beginners like myself. It doesn't weigh a ton and you can use it in a normal workshop environment. I think this is a fantastic platform to start learning and upgrading your welding skills. And I do have a couple of really interesting projects ahead of me where I will have to do some welding. So I'll tell you what, I need to get some practice done to make sure my projects will come out perfectly. Now, if you're interested in this welder, then I'm going to have some links down below in the description and in the pinned comment. The prices will vary depending on where you live around the world, so make sure to check out the links to see if it's a bargain in your country. At this point, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to my Patreons for their ongoing support. And before you go, check out these two cool playlists, plenty of great videos already there. For now, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.